Sunday night in Seattle, and it looks like a ghost town because everyone is packed into the second loudest stadium in the world to watch their hometown 8-6 Seahawks take on the Chiefs, who come in at 7-7 in a must-win game for both teams. Opening drive, 3rd and 8, and the Chiefs bring the heat, hitting Russell Wilson as he throws, and the Chiefs force an early 3-and-out. So the Chiefs take over, and on their first play, Mahomes play fakes and finds Travis Kelce down the seam into Seattle territory for 27 yards. Then 3 plays later on 3rd and 9, Mahomes looking to throw but can't find anything and decides to run, gets a block and goes down right at the marker for the first down. And from the Seahawk 26, Mahomes does throw this time and finds Sammy Watkins over the middle for the 14-yard pickup. But 2 plays later, Mahomes looking to throw but pressure up the middle, and he's hit as he throws, fumbling the ball. Jordan Devey picks it up, but it's a loss of 15 on the play, and the Chiefs would have to settle for a 37-yard Harrison Butker field goal attempt, which is up and good, and the Chiefs take the early 3-point lead. After an exchange of punts, Seahawks near midfield where Russell Wilson fakes and finds Will Dissly over the middle for 22 yards and a first down. But then on 3rd and 12, Wilson looking to throw again to Doug Baldwin, who makes the catch but can't hold on through the contact, which brings out Sebastian Janikowski, who from 52 yards out puts it through, and we're tied at 3. After another Chiefs punt pins the Seahawks inside the 5, the give goes to Chris Carson, but he's not able to get out of the end zone as Justin Houston drops him for the safety, and the Royals lead the Mariners 5-3. Second quarter now, and Kareem Hunt takes the carry for 10 yards up the middle, just shy of the marker. Then 4 plays later, Mahomes gets good protection and finds Travis Kelce on the crosser for 14 yards and a first down inside the Seattle 40. But then on 3rd and 2, Mahomes goes back to Kelce, who gets clotheslined by Earl Thomas, dropping the pass and bringing out Harrison Butker again for the 47-yard field goal, which is again up and good, and another 3-run homer pushes the Royals lead to 5. Seahawks looking to answer back, and on 2nd and 2, Wilson fakes, moves to his right, and finds Will Dissly again for the 23-yard gain into Chiefs territory. Then after another first down, Wilson looking to throw and finds Doug Baldwin this time, who does hang on, picking up 18 to the 12. And on 3rd and 4, Wilson finds a wide open Brandon Marshall for the 6-yard score as the Seahawks take a 10-8 lead. Chiefs quickly go 3-and-out, giving it right back to Seattle, where on the first play, Chris Carson takes it up the middle, breaking tackles and picking up 19. But then on 3rd and 10, Wilson under fire and looking for Baldwin, but it's nearly intercepted, and the Seahawks send out Sebastian Janikowski for the 57-yard field goal, which is up and through, and the Seahawk lead grows to 5. Chiefs again go 3-and-out quickly, and again on the first play, it's a big run, as this time Mike Davis spins and runs through tackles on his way to a 28-yard pickup. Then on 3rd and 2, Wilson fires it out to Ed Dixon, who avoids a horrid hit stick attempt, and then Steven Nelson goes for the conservative tackle, but gets no animation, but ends up making the tackle at the 5. Seahawks call timeout as they set up 1st and goal, where it's Russell Wilson back to Brandon Marshall for the 2nd time, this time for the 5-yard score, and the Seattle lead is now up to 12. Chiefs desperately wanting points before half, and on the first play, Mahomes floats one deep over the middle to Chris Conley, who pushes his way across midfield, 26 yards on the play as the Chiefs use their first timeout. Out of the timeout, it's Mahomes going back to Conley on the crosser, this time for 11, and another timeout from Kansas City. Following their second timeout, Mahomes looking to throw, flushed out to his right, and takes this one 11 yards for a first down while also stopping the clock. Then on 2nd down, Mahomes looks like he might scramble again, but instead fires to Tyreek Hill for the 15-yard gain as Andy Reid and the Chiefs decide to use their last timeout with 11 seconds to go. And out of the timeout, have to go to the end zone here, but Mahomes nowhere to go. Under pressure, just fires it away over Tyreek Hill's head. Flag comes out. It's intentional grounding, which should be a 10-second runoff, but the penalty shouldn't have been called in the first place, so I guess it cancels out. But Butker comes out and puts through a 39-yard field goal, and we head into half with the Seahawks up by 9. Chiefs start with the ball in the 3rd quarter as Kareem Hunt takes it up the middle for 9 yards and a first down near midfield. But then on 2nd and 7, Mahomes play fakes, but Frank Clark just walks around Eric Fisher for the instant sack. Mahomes had no chance on the play as Clark picks up his 2nd sack of the night, bringing up 3rd and 17. But with their backs against the wall, Mahomes looks to the cheetah Tyreek Hill, floating one deep, and he makes the catch inside the 10. And just like that, the Chiefs set up shop at the Seattle 8 with 1st and goal. And 2 plays later, the toss goes to Kareem Hunt, who finds a lane and walks into the end zone for the 7-yard score, cutting the Seahawk lead to 2. Seahawks turn now, and on the first play of their drive, Russell Wilson throws the screen out to David Moore, who jukes one defender defender before sliding out of bounds for a gain of 12. Then 4 plays later, 2nd and 4, and it's 12 more through the air as Wilson hits Doug Baldwin on the slant for another first down. But then on 3rd and 3, the give goes to Chris Carson, who tries to bounce it outside, but he's stuffed for a loss on the play and is also injured. Carson would head to the sideline and get a semi-erotic foot rub from the team physician. Meanwhile, Sebastian Janikowski comes on and for the 3rd time knocks one through, hitting the 46-yard field goal, pushing the Seahawks lead back to 5. 4th quarter now, 3rd and 1 for the Chiefs, and Kareem Hunt converts, picking up 4. Then 5 plays later, 3rd and 10 this time, Mahomes looking to throw and finds Sammy Watkins for the 14-yard gain to keep the drive alive. And on the next play, the give goes to Hunt, who takes it up the middle through a huge hole for another first down, picking up 12. Then on 2nd and 4, Hunt with another huge hole and a red carpet into the end zone as he scores from 11 yards out to put the Chiefs up by 1. Trying to extend the lead to 3, the Chiefs go for 2, and Mahomes looks to throw before firing incomplete, intended for Travis Kelce, but pass interference on KJ Wright moves it to the 1, where Mahomes looks to throw again, this time finding Tyreek Hill for the conversion as the Chiefs push their lead to 3 with just over 8 minutes to go. So back to the Seahawks, where on their first play, Wilson throws short to Mike Davis for the 7-yard pickup, and then double that on the next play as Wilson finds an open Doug Baldwin on the pass that goes for 14 yards and a first down. Then on 2nd and 5, the Seahawks move the chains again as Wilson hits tight end Ed Dixon in the flat for his 6th catch as he goes out of bounds after the 7-yard gain. And on the next play, Wilson looking to throw again, nowhere to go, gets flustered and flushed to his right before throwing it right by Eric Berry's face to Doug Baldwin just shy of the marker. Then on 2nd and inches, Mike Davis is stuffed by Justin Houston for a loss of 3. Setting up 3rd down where Russell Wilson looks to throw, gets good protection and fires deep downfield to Doug Baldwin, who makes the catch and weaves his way through horrible user decisions for the 35-yard score. And with 4.5 to go, the Seahawks take a 4-point lead. So with their playoff hopes in the balance, Chiefs need a touchdown, and on their first play, Kareem Hunt picks up 9 on the ground. 3 plays later, 2nd and 10, and Mahomes hits Sammy Watkins into Seattle territory for the 11-yard gain. Then on the next play, Mahomes with the play fake and goes deep for Sammy Watkins, who beat his man, but the ball is overthrown and incomplete. Then out of the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 6, and Mahomes decides to tuck and run, gets right to the marker and gets the first down. But then on the next play, Mahomes looking to throw, steps up and is dropped for the 3-yard loss. And on 3rd and 13, Mahomes flushed again before dumping off to Sammy Watkins, who breaks a tackle, picking up 10, but it's not enough for the first, so 4th down for the Chiefs, where Mahomes looks to throw and finds Chris Conley on the crosser for the 8-yard first down catch. Chiefs use their 2nd timeout. Out of the timeout, Mahomes looking to throw again, can't find anything and shovels it to Kareem Hunt for the 6-yard gain. Chiefs with only 1 timeout hurried to the line, snapped the ball with 15 seconds to go, but Frank Clark again just walks around Eric Fisher for the sack. Andy Reid forced to use the Chiefs' last timeout. So 4th down, Chiefs playoff hopes likely on the line. Mahomes looking for the end zone again, tries to high point the pass, but throws it out of the back of the end zone and doesn't even give his receiver a chance. And the Seahawks hang on and keep their playoff hopes alive. Russell Wilson throws for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Patrick Mahomes, who has been electric the last few weeks, goes 22 of 36 for 264 yards, but gets shut out of the touchdown column and is also sacked 8 times on the night. Kareem Hunt has another big day, going over the 100-yard mark for the 4th consecutive game, but the Chiefs lose their 5th game of the year, decided by 1 score, and depending on what else happened around the league this week, it could be a heartbreaking end of the road for Kansas City as they fall to 7-8 on the year. Seattle moves to 9-6 and hosts Arizona next week in another must-win game, while the Chiefs head home to play the Raiders at Arrowhead. Alright guys, so we lose that one and we fall to 7-8, and that's pretty rough to be that close and have plenty of chances to win but fall short. Really sucks. But it's been kind of a microcosm of the season. That's the 4th loss in a row that's been by only 1 score. So it's been close the whole way, but just not meant to be this season, I guess. But looking forward to roster and scouting moves, we continued negotiations with Jordan Devey and bumped up his offer a tad, and he ended up accepting a 2-year, $3.8 million offer with $8 $800K of that guaranteed. As mentioned last video, Devy has been the starting left guard for the past couple of weeks, and the rushing attack has seemed much better since he was inserted there. Moving to scouting though, we had no new draft stories this week, but added 3 new players to the draft board, starting with a pair of right tackles. Corbin Mullen out of Ole Miss is a first-round projection and first-round true talent, and then Kenny Brock out of LSU is the same, but has a B- rather than 3 Bs for his attribute grades. And then lastly, we have a third-round projection, fourth-round true talent in tight end Eric Bauer out of Memphis. But with that, time to go around the CFM, starting with scores from Week 16, where the Giants took down the Colts 27-3. Texans go to Philadelphia and hand the Eagles a 35-24 loss. Dolphins take down the Jaguars 32-28 in the Florida face-off. Titans beat the Redskins 31-20. Packers 35-21 over the Jets. Browns win 28-24 over the Bengals, which hurts because it means we can't catch them any longer. Buccaneers squash the Cowboys 35-6. Vikings win 33-14 over the Lions. Patriots hand the Bills a 35-21 loss. Panthers get a big win over the Falcons, winning 28-18. Chargers beat the Ravens 22-17, which ended up being the biggest game of the week for us. Bears win 35-21 over the 49ers. Rams win 24-7 over the Cardinals. Steelers hammer the Saints 40-17 in New Orleans. And then on Monday night, the Raiders do pull out the win over the Broncos 24-22, which we should be happy about, but as you're going to see, it doesn't really matter, because looking at the AFC playoff picture, everything has been clinched and only one team remains in the hunt, and that's the Chargers. Jaguars and Patriots currently hold byes, while the Steelers, Titans, and Browns have all clinched playoff spots, and it's just a matter of seeding at this point. Now, last video, I was under the impression that I pretty much had eliminated the Chargers at 6-7-1, but I really didn't think about a scenario where both Denver and I lost and didn't even realize I needed the Chargers to lose also, or I'd end up being eliminated because the Broncos and Chargers play each other in Week 17. So either the Broncos win and go to 9-7, which I can't reach, or the Chargers win and go to 8-7-1, which is going to be better than 8-8 if I beat the Raiders anyway. But moving to the NFC, the Rams have now clinched home field at 11-3-1, but almost everything else is still up for grabs. The Panthers beat the Falcons and jump from 5-2. Packers win and hold on to the 3 seed, while Philadelphia loses, but so do the Cowboys and Redskins, so they clinch the NFC East there. As mentioned, the Falcons drop from 2-5, while the Saints loss and Vikings win slides them into the 6th spot, tied with Seattle at 9-6, and then the Saints at 8-7 are on the outside looking in. The AFC Offensive Player of the Week for the 4th time this season is the Patriots' Tom Brady. Brady was 28-38 passing for 352 yards and 4 touchdowns, which resulted in a 137.1 passer rating. The 41-year-old 99 club members' big game helped the Patriots easily beat the Bills 35-14 in New England. On the NFC side, the Week 16 Offensive Player of the Week is Vikings free agent signing Kirk Cousins. Cousins completed just under 60% of his passes, but made up for it by throwing for 375 yards and 4 scores to help the Vikings dominate division rival Detroit and put the Vikings in the 6th seed of the playoffs heading into the season's final week. Moving to the defense, the AFC Player of the Week is Ravens linebacker Matthew Judon. The third-year linebacker out of Grand Valley State filled the score sheet Sunday with 9 tackles, 7 solo, and 2 for loss, while throwing in a sack and an interception of Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers. Unfortunately for Judon, it wasn't enough for the Ravens or the Chiefs as they fell 22-17 in Los Angeles. As for the NFC, the linebacker taken 16th overall out of Purdue in the 2011 draft, Ryan Kerrigan, is this week's Defensive Player of the Week. Kerrigan terrorized Marcus Mariota and the Titans all day, accounting for 7 tackles, 2 for loss, and dropping Mariota on 3 separate occasions for 3 sacks. Despite the big day, Kerrigan's Skins fell 31-20 in Tennessee. The immortal Tom Brady continues his great season and leads the pass yard leaders yet again with 4,565 yards on the year. Carson Wentz moves into second above division rival Alex Smith, who is in third. Matt Ryan sits in fourth with 4,208 yards, 163 yards ahead of the Titans' Marcus Mariota, who remains fifth. Carson Wentz and Tom Brady are once again tied for the league lead in passing touchdowns now with 39 apiece. Behind them is Russell Wilson, who moves above Alex Smith with 35 touchdowns on the year, while Smith is now tied at 34 with Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, who takes Matt Ryan's place in this week's top 5. The rushing leaderboards continue to be hogged by Ezekiel Elliott, starting with rushing yards, where Elliott holds a 168-yard lead over David Johnson for the rushing title heading into the final week. Le'Veon Bell is 11 yards behind Johnson in third, while Todd Gurley of the Rams is fourth, and then rounding out the top 5 is Marshawn Lynch, who we'll be seeing next video. And for rushing touchdowns, it's once again Elliott leading the way with 14 scores on the ground. Behind him is a three-way tie for second between Todd Gurley of the Rams, Leonard Fournette of the Jaguars, and Alvin Kamara of the Saints, who all have 12. And then behind them in fifth is the Falcons' Devontae Freeman, who has 11 rushing scores. Rookie Marquez Valdez-Scantling takes back the league lead in receptions from Rashard Matthews, as he now has 94 on the year, sitting 3 in front of Matthews, who has 91. Julian Edelman pops into the top 5 in third with 89 catches, while Zach Ertz falls to 4th with 87, and Jamison Crowder falls to 5th with 84 receptions. Crowder continues to lead the way in receiving yards, but only by 21 yards over Julian Edelman, who has 1,274 yards on the year, jumping Jarvis Landry, who now sits in third with 1,235 yards. Behind Landry are a couple of familiar faces in Sammy Watkins, who has 1,122 yards, and then Tyreek Hill, who is just 2 yards behind with 1,120 yards on the year. Jamison Crowder also leads the way in receiving touchdowns with 14, which is 3 more than second place receiver Alshon Jeffrey. Behind the 2 NFC East leaders is a tie between multiple players for third, and the 3 players appearing in this week's top 5 are the Patriots' Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski, and then the Steelers' Juju Smith-Schuster. We have a new solo tackle leader after 16 weeks, and it's the Seahawks' Bobby Wagner, who has 107 tackles on the year. Wagner moves into first, just 1 tackle ahead of last week's leader Sean Lee, and the Rams' Mark Barron sits in third, joining them as the only players with 100+ tackles on the year. But just 1 away from that mark are Reuben Foster and Zach Brown, who both have 99 and are tied for 4th. On to sacks, where Von Miller leads the way with 16.5 through 16 weeks, while Khalil Mack is a sack and a half back from leading the way in his first season with the Bears. Geno Atkins gets a sack and moves into third above Justin Houston, who is now tied for 4th with the Cardinals' Chandler Jones with 12.5 sacks on the year. The interception leaderboard continues to look more or less the same, with John Johnson and Bobby McCain tied at the top. Behind them are 3 of the many players tied with 5 picks on the year, which includes the Giants' Janoris Jenkins, the Panthers' James Bradbury, and the Falcons' Ricardo Allen. Taking a look at the final week of the regular season, everything is on Sunday and kicks off with 13 games in the early slate as the Browns take on the old Browns, Dolphins at Bills, NFC East champion Eagles at Redskins, Titans host the Colts, Packers host the Lions, top AFC seed Jacksonville heads to Houston. We host the Raiders, who are now only a game back of us, so a chance to maybe fall to last place or maybe keep the Raiders in the pit of misery. Vikings host the Bears in, I believe, a win and you're in situation. Patriots still fighting for a first round bye as they host the Jets. Saints with slim playoff hopes host the division leading Panthers. Cowboys, Giants, Bengals look to play spoiler in Pittsburgh. Falcons travel to Tampa Bay looking for a win, and Panthers lost to clinch the South. Chargers head to Denver in a winner takes all matchup for the AFC West crown. 49ers head to Los Angeles to face the Rams, and the Seahawks host the Cardinals, needing a win and a Vikings loss to get in. But that's going to do it for week 16, guys. Unfortunate turn of events this week that leads us to not making the playoffs in season 1. But join me next video as we close out our first season of Madden 19 against the Raiders. We beat them 45-20 last time, so really hoping to put a hurting on them again and finish the season 8-8. As always, there will be highlights and league news, but I hope you enjoyed the highlights, commentary, and league news from this video. Join me next time as we take on the Raiders, but until then, thanks for watching.